We Homo sapiens are now the only surviving member of the Homo genus. It's wild to imagine that there was a time we shared the Earth with other human species, but as archaeology has advanced and fresh discoveries have surfaced, it's become undeniable that our genus was once teeming with variety. Ever since Darwin released On the Origin of Species back in 1859, scientists have been obsessed with untangling the branches of our evolutionary family tree. Iconic fossil finds like Lucy, Australopithecus, and Java Man have helped connect some of the dots, but with each new discovery of a vanished human species, the story of our past has only grown more complex. Our lineage now includes not only direct ancestors like Homo habilis and Homo erectus, but also long-lost cousins like Homo neanderthalensis and Homo denisova. Yet even with so many names on the list, huge pieces of the puzzle are still missing. And while bones and traces of some species have been found, what we actually know about them remains frustratingly limited. These are some of the mysterious human species that once lived among us. Coast ancestor. Around 50,000 years ago, early humans living in what's now West Africa are believed to have interbred with a previously unidentified group of archaic humans. Scientists inferred the presence of this mysterious lineage not from fossils or bones. Africa's climate rarely allows such remains to last, but through faint signals embedded in the DNA of modern West Africans. Through an extensive genetic study involving hundreds of participants from Nigeria and Sierra Leone, researchers uncovered unusual traces of what they now refer to as ghost DNA, stemming from an ancestral group unrelated to either Neanderthals or Denisovans. This genetic blending likely occurred approximately 50,000 years ago, a time that also saw Neanderthals mating with modern humans in other parts of the world. A group of population geneticists at the University of Utah explored 8 distinct models to trace how genes may have flowed before and after these ancient encounters. Curiously, the interbreeding is believed to have happened outside of Africa, pointing to this ghost ancestor as part of the earliest human expansions beyond the continent. This unknown hominin group seems to have separated from the ancestors of modern humans even before Neanderthals did. These findings introduce new depth and complication to the narrative of human origins, showing that the emergence of Homo sapiens wasn't a clean break from other human species, but a tangled process of mixing and divergence. The ultimate fate of this ghost lineage remains an open question. They may have gone extinct, vanishing completely from history, or it's possible their bloodline was fully blended into the modern human gene pool over time. Regardless, their hidden genetic legacy quietly lingers on, etched in the genomes of some living people, offering a great reminder that we carry more forgotten past than we ever realized. Dragon Man, aka Homo Long. In 1933, during the building of the Dongjiang Bridge in northern China, a local worker came across a unique find, an almost perfectly preserved human skull buried within the sediment layers of the riverbank. At the time, Harbin, the city where the skull was uncovered, was under Japanese occupation as part of the larger puppet state of Manchukuo. The laborer likely sensed the importance of the find, especially given the excitement a few years prior surrounding the unearthing of another ancient human skull known popularly as Peking Man. Carefully, the worker hid his incredible discovery inside an abandoned well, where it remained untouched for nearly 90 years. Even after Soviet forces marched into Manchuria, the man guarded his secret closely, fearing that his past association with the Japanese might be questioned. It wasn't until the final moments of his life that the laborer revealed the existence of the ancient relic to his grandchildren, still hidden in its secret location. One intrigued family member retrieved the skull from the well in 2018. Later that same year, a Chinese paleoanthropologist persuaded the family to donate the artifact to Hebei Geo University for scientific study. Detailed analysis later confirmed the skull to be at least 146,000 years old, dating back to the Middle Pleistocene period. With its low, elongated shape, distinct brow ridges, wide eye sockets, and broad mouth, the skull displayed a curious mix of archaic and modern traits. Its facial features bore an uncanny similarity to that of Homo sapiens. Experts believe the skull belonged to a physically strong male, likely around 50 years old when he died. The broad nose suggested an adaptation to a high-energy lifestyle, capable of inhaling large volumes of air. Measuring a striking 23 centimeters in length and more than 15 centimeters in width, the skull's massive size hints at evolutionary traits designed to withstand the bitter, freezing environment of the region. What's even more compelling is that this skull has opened up an entirely new chapter in the human family tree. It points to a previously unrecognized lineage potentially more closely linked to modern humans than even the Neanderthals. Named Homo longi, meaning dragon man in China, the discovery has reignited scientific debate around the complexity of human evolution. Some researchers now suspect that this so-called ghost ancestor may represent an entirely distinct group of ancient humans, one that lived alongside and possibly even interacted with our early ancestors. The implications are enormous, hinting that our evolutionary journey may have been far messier and more intertwined than we ever assumed. Despite all we've uncovered, this skull, forgotten in a well for nearly a century, might be the key to rethinking the story of us. Red Deer Cave People. Back in 1989, miners excavating limestone inside Madong Cave in southeastern China uncovered a stunning find. They found a collection of unusual fossils concealed deep within the cave, but these ancient traces of human presence remained untouched for nearly 20 years. In 2008, researchers retrieved partial skulls and bone fragments from both the Malong and neighboring Longlin caves, representing at least 4 individuals from the Stone Age. Radiocarbon analysis of charcoal found near the Longlin fossils dated them to somewhere between 14,300 and 11,500 years ago. Interestingly, signs suggest that large deer were cooked within Madong Cave, leading researchers to nickname the Stone Age inhabitants the Red Deer Cave People. Their skeletal features displayed a puzzling combination of ancient and modern anatomical traits, leaving scientists astonished. These individuals had protruding jaws, broad nasal bridges, thick brow ridges, oversized molars, flattened facial structures, and dense skull bones. Their brain volume, however, was consistent with others from the Ice Age period. Some researchers have proposed that these remains might represent a hybrid group formed through interbreeding between archaic and modern humans. Yet a team of scientists from the University of New South Wales in Australia argues they belong to a completely separate evolutionary branch. The fact that these people lived until about 11,000 years ago alongside anatomically modern Homo sapiens in nearby regions gives this hypothesis more traction, as a hybrid group would likely have been gradually absorbed over time. Genetic analysis comparing these skulls to those of current populations revealed unexpected connections to both Native American groups and modern East Asians. Fascinatingly, the closest genetic link was found with a 13,900-year-old human specimen from Siberia, the oldest known human DNA ever discovered in the Americas. This finding disrupts the long-held assumption that the earliest people to cross the Pacific into the Americas had spent considerable time living in Siberia. Instead, it's now believed this population may have lived in southern China for an extended period before moving northward, possibly traveling along a coastal path that passed through Japan. The unearthing of the Red Deer Cave People reveals an entirely new layer in the story of human variation across East Asia. It also proves that for tens of thousands of years, modern humans shared the continent with at least one other pre-modern human species, an unexpected twist in our complex past. Denisovans. In 2008, a team from the Russian Academy of Sciences, along with other archaeologists, conducted an expedition in a cave nestled in the Altai Mountains of Siberia. There they uncovered a fragment of a finger bone belonging to a young female hominin. By 2010, mitochondrial DNA extracted from the specimen dated it to between 76,200 and 51,600 years ago. Our understanding of the Denisovans remains limited, with only a handful of physical remains, a finger bone, a few teeth, and a skull fragment. As a result, much of what we know comes from genetic analysis. That DNA evidence suggests Denisovans had dark skin, hair, and eyes, and shared some physical traits with Neanderthals, including their build and facial shape. Additional remains were later found in Bashia Kars Cave on the Tibetan Plateau and in Cobra Cave in the Annamite Mountains of Laos. It's believed that Denisovans inhabited parts of Asia for tens of thousands of years, living alongside early Homo sapiens. Though physical fossils have only been recovered from these three locations, the presence of Denisovan DNA in living humans suggests they once ranged widely throughout East Asia and perhaps even into Western Eurasia. A recent genetic study involving Southeast Asian populations proposed the existence of three genetically distinct Denisovan subgroups. Notably, one of these may have survived longer than the Neanderthals, who disappeared around 40,000 years ago. It's also widely acknowledged that Denisovans interbred with early modern humans. Today, the highest concentrations of Denisovan DNA are found in Melanesians, Aboriginal Australians, and certain Filipino groups such as the Aita. This genetic contribution implies that the Denisovans once formed communities stretching across Asia, the Philippines, New Guinea, and Australia. It's even possible that interbreeding in New Guinea took place as recently as 30,000 years ago. If so, some Denisovans might have survived until around 14,500 years ago. Well, it's amazing. Hobbits, Homo luzonensis and Homo floresiensis. Deep in the dense forests of Luzon Island in the Philippines, fossilized teeth and bones belonging to at least 3 individuals were discovered in 2019. These remains were identified as part of an ancient hominin species that lived on the island around 50,000 years ago. The fossils were so distinct from all known human species that they were given a new classification, Homo luzonensis, found within the limestone chambers of Calao Cave, along with animal bones bearing cut marks and stone tools. The evidence shows these early humans were skilled in both tool making and hunting. Fascinatingly, Homo luzonensis displayed traits seen in multiple human species. Some of its dental features resembled early Homo, while other characteristics mirrored those of Homo erectus. Standing just 3 to 4 feet tall, their small stature, along with wide feet and curved fingers and toes, points toward adaptations for climbing trees. Their miniature size may have evolved due to the constraints of island life, possibly an example of island dwarfism. Homo luzonensis shares similarities with another small-bodied human species, Homo floresiensis, often nicknamed the Hobbit for its short height. Discovered in Liang Bua Cave on Indonesia's Flores Island, Homo floresiensis also possessed an unusual blend of traits. Its brain was just 1/3 the size of ours, but much of its skeleton resembled Homo erectus. Stone tools, animal remains, and proof of fire were found at the site, suggesting surprisingly complex behaviors. These unique characteristics support the view that both species are evolutionarily distinct. It's possible their ancestors crossed seas intentionally or arrived via natural events such as tsunamis, settling on the islands where they remained isolated. The existence of these lesser-known island-dwelling hominins adds depth to the story of human evolution and challenges long-held beliefs. The overlap in time between Homo floresiensis and modern humans raises the possibility of interaction, though direct proof remains elusive. Homo naledi, discovered in 2015 deep inside South Africa's Rising Star cave system, Homo naledi sent shockwaves through the scientific world. In a single jaw-dropping excavation, researchers uncovered over 1,500 fossil pieces, the remains of at least 15 individuals. And yet, for all that bone, we still don't know how they lived. These mysterious hominins stood around 4 feet 9 inches tall, with a curious blend of features: primitive brains the size of oranges, but surprisingly modern hands, feet, and leg bones built for walking upright. What stunned scientists most was where they found them, deep in a pitch-black cave chamber, far from natural light. No tools, no animal bones, just bodies. It raised a mind-bending question: could Homo naledi have deliberately disposed of their dead? If true, it would mean a small-brained species practiced ritual behavior, something once thought exclusive to modern humans. Despite the treasure trove of fossils, Homo naledi remains a riddle. Who were they? How did they live? And what else might they teach us about what it means to be human? Well, for sure, we don't know. Homo rudolfensis. Homo rudolfensis highlights the challenges of defining a species from limited fossil evidence. Its classification relies on a single specimen, a skull known as KNM-ER 1470, discovered in Kenya's Kubi Fora and dated to approximately 1.9 million years ago. Originally assigned to Homo habilis, the genus's earliest known member, this skull raised questions. Its brain case was significantly larger, around 700 cubic centimeters compared to the 500 typical of H. habilis. It also had bigger teeth and a less prominent brow ridge. These distinctions led scientists to doubt whether such variation could exist within a single species, even when accounting for male and female differences. As a result, the fossil was formally reclassified as Homo rudolfensis in 1986. Though based on just one skull, the unique combination of traits made it impossible to overlook. Homo rudolfensis remains one of the most debated early humans, reminding researchers of the patchy, incomplete nature of our fossil record and how one skull can shift the story of human evolution. Homo antecessor. At Grandolina Cave in Atapuerca, Spain, archaeologists unearthed a hominin group within a deposit stretching back 780,000 years. Named Homo antecessor in 1997, this species was found in layers nearly 20 meters deep, part of a site that holds over 500,000 years of history. Described as showing a mix of archaic and modern features, H. antecessor displays traits similar to both Neanderthals and Denisovans, as well as to Homo sapiens. A recent study analyzing ancient proteins from the enamel of an Atapuerca tooth concluded that H. antecessor represents a sister lineage to modern humans, closely tied to the ancestors of Neanderthals and Denisovans. These groups likely branched from a shared ancestor. Though not a direct predecessor, Homo antecessor serves as a crucial link in the chain, offering a snapshot of evolution in transition. The discovery deepened our understanding of how complex our family tree truly is, interwoven with relatives whose features straddle the ancient and the emerging human form. Homo habilis. In 1960, a team of paleoanthropologists uncovered fossilized remains of an early human ancestor in Tanzania. These remains had brain sizes slightly larger than those of apes, prompting researchers to link them with the thousands of ancient tools discovered nearby. The species was named Homo habilis, meaning handyman. Believed to have emerged roughly 2.4 million years ago, H. habilis is widely accepted as the earliest known member of the genus Homo, transitioning from more ape-like ancestors. This species was small in stature, weighing around 70 pounds and standing between 3.5 and 4.5 feet tall. Despite its size, it demonstrated the ability to craft more advanced tools, especially those used for butchering animals. These adaptations mark a significant leap in hominin behavior and intelligence. For nearly 1 million years, Homo habilis existed as the sole representative of our genus, laying the foundation for all later species. Its discovery redefined what it means to be human, tool-making, creative, and evolving towards something more. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.